Hi everyone, Nigel Saunders here. Today I am beginning to work on the foundation for the new glass greenhouse. I've been waiting since early spring for contractors to come in and pour a cement pad to put the greenhouse on. I haven't heard from them. They're just so busy. So I'm just going to do it myself. I can't wait any longer. I've got to build the greenhouse and the foundation and everything. So if I don't start now, I think fall will come and I just won't have a greenhouse. My plan is to put in footings, pouring concrete footings with probably rebar in them. And then I'll build a small cement block wall, probably 2 blocks high. And then the greenhouse will sit on top of that. So I've got to get this perimeter all leveled. I'll have to dig out all the soil in the middle. I'm going to fill the low cement block wall with gravel. And then maybe even put those paving stones on top to kind of create a nice surface. Or just leave it gravel, I don't know. So yeah, so I've got a lot of digging, a lot of wheelbarrowing to do. So the soil from this area, I'm putting it over in the other section where I'm going to build that big kind of outdoor greenhouse eventually. And I'm going to use the soil for leveling the land in that area. So it'll be quite useful. I started digging this section out last night and I thought, I better not do too much in one night. I got to get the body kind of used to digging. And I'm glad I stopped because I was quite sore this morning. So I'm ready to go back at it now though. This has been my bonsai area for 25 years and I've been putting a lot of wood chips down and it's building up this layer of topsoil in this area. So I have to dig down far enough that I get down to kind of a clay layer. That'll be a good stable foundation to build up the walls for the greenhouse. Here's where I'm putting the soil, over by the large greenhouse. You can see the wall for it there. I made the posts kind of level at the bottom, the cement columns that surround the posts. You can see them right in here. And they get higher as you go down to the end one here, which is quite high out of the ground. So I've got to build up this whole corner of this area to make the floor level. So I'm just putting the dirt or the soil along the front here, and then when I get all this stuff moved out of here, when I'm building the greenhouse, I'll level it off, you know, in this area here, and that'll be the floor of the big arched greenhouse. So the arches will come from the top of the wall here and arch down towards a little knee wall on the far side. So it'll be quite something. And I don't know, you know, I wonder if I should make it more of a screen house like my wife's over here. Like this. So in the summer I just open it up, and then in winter I put the plastic up. So I'll have to decide. I want to make it quite versatile. You guys digging in the mud? Yep. I'm starting to get the perimeter dug out. I've got a board over here to make sure everything's going to be level. So lots of work to go. I'll just keep at it. Well, the digging is going quite well. I'm getting down to some nice firm clay down there. There's no topsoil left in this corner at all. So that'll be good to put the cement right on top of that. It'll be nice and solid. I still got a lot of work to do, but it is the next day now. I've got all the parts of the base of the greenhouse out just to confirm all my dimensions. Make sure I put the footings in the exact place that I want them. The greenhouse was built on a sloped surface before, so you can see at the base here there's a tapered piece that was added to the bottom of this channel of aluminum. And on the one side here it was built up, the one piece there, and the other end piece has another tapered piece starting from small, getting larger down here. And the fourth side is just normal, just the aluminum channel. So I've got to take all these tapered pieces off before I put it together and make sure my foundation is all going to be level. It looks like it's just held on with the one screw in here. So I'll take it right out. There it is. So that is separated. Now I'll check and see how level I am here. That's pretty good. That's not bad. Good to see. Haha, got it. That's one out anyway. That was a tight one. Now I can get the level out and see how close my digging is. Make any adjustments if I need to. Well, it's back to do some more digging to level out that foundation. Dig out the end piece there. So just kind of finish it all up. Try and get it as level as I can. Then I think I'll get some gravel and put it in the bottom and kind of pound it down into the clay. Get a really good firm foundation for the cement. It's a little high in the middle here, I think. Kind of rocks a bit. Maybe some more off there, but that's pretty level there. Yeah, just a little bit out of the middle here. I've got two sides close to being level now, dug out. So this end, I've left kind of a bridge here for the wheelbarrow to get across, but I'm going to have to dig this out next, this side. I'll just put like a cement block or something that I can get the wheelbarrow across into the middle. I think that'll work okay. All right, over the bridge. Ah, worked really well. What's the matter there, girl? I'm trying to get my work on the greenhouse in the morning when it's cool, and late afternoon when it's cool also, avoiding the midday sun. In the mid-afternoon, I'll try and get some bonsai work in, so there's kind of a mix between greenhouse work and bonsai work. I've dug out my foundation. I've just got to even it up. You can see I'm a little close here. It's a little wide here, so I've got to take some more off the inside to just get the aluminum frame centered. And I think over here too, I'm a little narrow here. That way I can center the frame in the middle of my pit here that I've dug out. And that'll be pretty good. That's making progress. Happy to see it. I'm going to take a break from the greenhouse construction and do some bonsai work to finish out the video. I'm going to start the bonsai work today by pruning my royal oaks, or my English oaks. And I pruned them about 2 weeks ago. I removed all the lower branches just to get a simple trunk line that will eventually be the scar-free trunk that should look quite nice. Develop the top part into the branch structure, so kind of creating a taller tree out of these little seedlings. After I removed those lower branches, I got a lot of new shoots growing in down low on the trunk. So again, I've got to go in and clean those up, pinching them off. So here I go. These new shoots can either be rubbed off with your fingers, so you can just kind of grab them, just peel them off, or you can use scissors. And that's got the trunks nice and clean. Any buds coming out, you can just rub them off as they come in. Up top on the Royal Oaks, you can see a new shoot coming in here, and a new one that's already coming in on this side also. I'll put the Royal Oaks back on the bench and start on another tree. The next tree I'll be working on is my Natal Ficus, just giving it a quick pruning. I eventually want this tree to look like one of those giant ficus trees growing in Africa without any aerial roots, just a nice trunk line going up to this giant canopy that covers a massive amount of area. That's the look I'm going for. There's a lot of branches on the tree, some of these ones that droop down that I don't want. I want to build my kind of upright structure first, and then it'll slowly kind of cascade down into some drooping branches. Very similar to my very first ficus, the one I grew from seed. I'll show you those branches now. Here's a look at the tree. So this tree has a very upright branch structure, but now towards the tips of the outer edge of the canopy, I'm letting some of the branches droop, and that'll kind of give that full crown to the tree. So that's kind of the look I'm going for with my African ficus, my Natal Ficus, but it won't have any aerial roots. It'll just be a very pure trunk line and a giant canopy on top. I'll place the tree on my spinning tree bonsai turntable, and I can begin the pruning work. I'm going to begin the work at the base of the tree. There's a lot of roots that are sticking up out of the soil that I want to prune off. These are aerial roots. You can see them all through here. These trees grow aerial roots really easily. If there's humidity around, it'll drop aerial roots. You can see them forming on the trunk here. So I'm going to remove all that kind of aerial root growth today. All right, here I go. So there's a root crossing one of my radial roots here, so I'm going to trim these off. There's a couple there. Wow, this tree grows roots. So we're always looking for moisture. So I'm just pulling these roots out. I'll remove any roots growing off the trunk here, like that one. There was one over on this side. Get rid of that one here too, like that. There's one forming here. I'll just rub off with my fingernail, like that. There's a thick root coming out of the soil here. I'm going to remove that, like that. Try and pull it out of the soil here. Getting there. Boy, oh boy, look at all the roots in the soil. Another one sticking out of the soil level here. I'll get rid of that. There's a few over here coming out of the soil again. All ficus take constant root correction. The roots grow quickly and can quickly get out of control. There's one here I could get rid of too. Like that. Okay, so that's got all the roots fixed up. And of course, when I go to repot it, I can tackle the root system again. I've done a lot of root work to this tree. It's come a long way, but it's, you know, still got a ways to go. Because I kind of disturbed the soil around the roots, I'm going to give it a good watering. It needs a watering anyway, so here I go. Keep those roots nice and moist. It's good to let the ficus dry out a bit before watering it again, especially these Natal Ficuses. And that'll stimulate those roots to go searching for moisture. Okay, that's watered really well. I'm going to start the pruning now. So I'll begin with these branches that are going downwards, the back here. I'll get rid of those, or at least shorten them back quite a bit. To there. To here. So the branch structure in this tree isn't sorted out yet, the major kind of the core of the branch structure, the you know, primary branches is what I'm trying to say. So I've got a beautiful upright branch here, which I really like. And this one, it was a cascade tree, so this is really thick over to this side. So I want to develop that upright trunk there into the main crown of the tree, and this one will probably, you know, it'll be an upright trunk, but it'll grow up into the canopy also, but it won't be, I hope it doesn't look as thick in the final tree. I'm hoping that, you know, the main trunk and the trunk thickens up, so this won't look so thick off to the right hand side. I have multiple branches coming from one spot here. And when I say multiple, I mean 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 branches coming from one spot on here. That's a lot of branches. I'm going to start by shortening this long one here to here. This will help me see what's going on. There's one shooting straight out front here that's kind of drooping. I'll get rid of that one. Bit of an eye poker branch. There's another one here kind of crossing the front of the tree. I'll get rid of that one. I want everything fanning out nicely. There's one growing from the bottom here. I'll get rid of that. Like that. Another one growing from the bottom here towards the back. Get rid of that. And there's one shooting straight up here. So I got 2 nice flowing branches out here. I'll get rid of this third one sticking straight up like that. And there's another one sticking straight up here. And then I've got to get rid of this thick one out the back. It's better these 2 finer ones out front. So I'll get rid of that one entirely. Like that. That really cleans that branch up. So it's a nice simple branch now. And I'll just take the tips off these ones to get some more ramification. Like that. Now off that same branch there's one going straight up here towards the inside. I don't want that one, so I'm going to take that one off. So that one's right here. So here I go, like that. In between, there's two branches here, and in between them I have a little shoot. I'm going to remove that one, like that. There's an aerial root here coming out right here that I'm going to remove. Like I said, I don't want any aerial roots on this tree. There's another aerial root here. I'll get rid of that one. Another one coming out the bottom here. One out the back here. Okay, that's good. So now, this branch, the one at the back, is kind of awkward. It goes kind of straight up, and it forms like a T here. I've got a branch out the back and a branch out the front. Neither are very good, so I want something out this direction. So I do have a bud facing the right direction here. So I'm just going to shorten this branch to here, like that, and develop this new bud out in this direction. The other branch, the other part of the T branch, which is a little lower, again, nothing coming out this direction. It doesn't flow very well, so I'll just prune it off short and see what develops, like that. So now I have a branch coming out the back here. There's a lot of aerial roots coming off of it. I'll just prune those away. This branch does flow in a fairly nice direction, so I'll get rid of any vertical growth, like there. There's a bit here. Shorten this branch back to here. Shorten this one to here. I'll have a look at it. It's not too bad. There's one going up the back here. I'll prune that off and redirect it a little more of a horizontal pattern. Another aerial root coming off of here. Another aerial root coming off here, and one here. These trees like to grow roots. They're amazing. Now, this branch at the back here, it doesn't have much taper, and it's fairly straight. So I have the opportunity. I've got a branch to the, what is that, the right, one to the left, another one to the right, and another one to the left. So I could shorten that branch back to here, and I will, like that. Trim it up a bit. That looks better. Now on my upright structure here, I've got a branch that kind of crisscrosses over these other two branches. I'm not sure I want that. I don't think I do. I'm going to remove that. Well, I'll just shorten it for now, just in case I want it in the future. In case I wanted to take one of these branches off, like maybe this one, then I'll have a backup. This branch is getting some little figs on it, which is kind of cool. I'll show you those. Here's a look at those figs. There's about 3 there, right in there. Really cool. They're just tiny. Okay, so back to pruning. Now that one with the figs on is hanging straight down. I don't want that, so I'm going to remove that branch, like that. There's another one hanging straight down here. I'll get rid of that. Again, I want my structure to flow upwards from the trunk, upright, and then kind of sweep into a cascade on the lower branches. So far, this branch, it's nice. It's very straight. It doesn't have any change of taper from right back here till right out here. Not much anyway. So I'm going to shorten it if I can. And I can. And I'm looking for something that flows nicely. I'll remove this sagging tip here, this cascading tip. There's another branch at the tip cascading. Another one coming down. This one. Prune this one back. So I'm trying to see where I can shorten this branch. Somewhere along there. All these branches kind of flow up 90 degrees from the base of the branch here. They don't kind of flow nicely, which is too bad. Maybe it's just how the tree grows, I don't know. Well, I'll prune it off here, shortening these branches. There's also some branches going straight up on this branch, so I'll get rid of those. Like that. So now you can see the branch is looking more horizontal, I guess. If I were to shorten that branch, I think I'd have to go right back to here. So I will. Well, I'll leave a stump. I'll cut it about here. So here I go. Like that. And there's a branch out the back here. I'll just prune that off short. That leaves me with my upright trunk here now, which is also getting very long. So I'll prune these branches back here to here to here to here. Now, again, I'm quite straight here without any taper. I might want to prune that back even further. Yeah. And I think I'm going to go quite far back to kind of about here. I've got a shoot coming out front, which is nice. So I'm going to take the trunk off here. Like that. That's a nice cutting too. So I think that's about it. Yeah, I'll let it grow for another big growth spurt, get it nice and bushy, and then we'll come in and select the best branches and prune it all up again. Just keep repeating the process until get this beautiful canopy on this ficus. Here's a look at my ficus now. I am hoping to put this ficus into that pot that I made. I think the gray kind of trunk will suit the pot really nicely. I'm hoping. The pot will be a little big for it, but I think this is a fast growing tree, so I think, you know, in a few years, I think the tree will fit the pot nicely. I'll rotate it around, we'll have a final look at it. So there's the front. Coming over to the right side. Around to the back. So you can still see some of the severe pruning scars on the tree, but they'll heal. Over to the left-hand side, there's that initial scar where the tree was converted from upright tree to a cascade. That's going away quite quickly. And back to the front. Yeah, really cool tree. I really like these Natal Ficus or Ficus natalensis as bonsai. It's time now for today's updates. I'll start today's updates in the greenhouse. I'll show you the Ficus benjamina, the two of them that I repotted. So here's the two little leaf one that I did that really severe root pruning on. And again, the tree didn't skip a beat. It's still growing. You can see the new growing tips on it. Removing all those roots didn't slow it down at all. So if the tree is vigorous and you do it in the good conditions of summer where it's hot and humid out, they don't mind root pruning at all. And here's my medium leaf Ficus benjamina. It didn't get quite as severe a root pruning, but it got a good pruning. And again, it's doing really well so far. And it's even beginning to grow at top again, up top again. So that's good to see. My Frank Yi cuttings of my corkbark jade over here are doing quite well. Here's the best one. It's got new growth on it. The leaves are nice and plump, and it's starting to grow, which is just fantastic. The other pot of cuttings here are looking good. This one's plumped up. This one is still a little wrinkly, the leaves. No growth yet on it, but it's not dying, so that's a good sign. And then the other pot of them, again, not much new growth on them, but they're not dying, so that's good. I think they'll slowly start to grow. That's what happened to this one. It just kind of looked miserable for a while, and then it started plumping up and started growing. So I'm hoping all the other cuttings do also. If not, I do have one successful cutting, so that's fantastic. The cashews are doing fantastic. You can see the growth on them. This one has 1, 2, 3, and it's working on the 4th set of leaves. All the seeds germinated, so that's fantastic. I've given away some. I gave some away to David, and I gave away some to Isabella. The bitter almond here is doing really well also. All kinds of branches on it. It's getting taller. Just fantastic. The pines are doing well. Good to see. The lilac cuttings, I think they're going to make it. They're plumping up, the buds on them. I think they're going to grow soon. I don't think I'll have 100% success with all of them, but I've got enough that I can give some away in the future. My little stone cacti down here, doing really well. I'm keeping them quite dry. I do still mist them just gently in the morning and a bit in the evening. Not enough to wet the soil, just to kind of give a misting to the top surface. There's my Ficus natalensis cutting, that top cutting. I just stuck it in the soil here. Hopefully it'll grow. We're outside now, and I'll show you my fiddle leaf fig, or my Ficus lyrata. Here it is here. It's looking like a little tree. Yeah, so that's doing really well. I'm pleased. That big top chop on it worked out well. Got lots of lower branches developing. Yeah, kind of a cool little tree. I like it. I just noticed I've got Japanese beetles on my elm here, and lots of them. I've got 2 right there, a whole bunch over here, 1 up here. Oh, I gotta take care of those. I'll do that right now. I got them all off. If you can see them in here, they would have stripped all the leaves on that tree overnight. It was such a small tree. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them. So I'll feed those to the chickens. Here's the jade, the one with the really rough bark on it. So you can see the leaves are forming quite well on it now. Gets a little bit stronger every day. Good to see. There's that growth down lower here. Yeah, make a fine jade someday. My bird's nest spruce here is getting its 2nd flush of growth on it. You can see all the new shoots coming out. It's looking good. My nightshade bonsai has recovered nicely from the last pruning. You can see how well it's developing. I think I'll let it flower now and set the berries for the fall. The jade cutting that I got from Joey's is doing quite well. Nice and full now on top. The pot still looks ridiculously large for it, but the jade will grow and grow until it finally someday fits the pot. Now excuse me, I have to walk through here. Excuse me. You look very comfortable down there. Are you comfortable? Hi. There's Giselle over there. Yeah, I gotta walk in here, okay? Excuse me. There we go. So the rosemary here hasn't done a lot. It does have a little bit of new growth on it, but not a whole lot yet, but I think it'll get there. The Snow Queen hibiscus has just gone crazy this year. Look at the size of it now. Really nice to see. A beautiful plant. I just think it's fantastic. My final update for today will be my giant sequoias, which aren't very giant, but they are growing. So I'll give you a shot of those. There they are. So you can see this one's getting quite high. Some of the other ones too. They're doing well. I think all the ones that were going to die have died now, and these ones are going to make it. That's what I hope anyway. I'm keeping a close eye on my ginseng ficus, or my Ficus microcarpa. It's starting to get a few green leaves on the tips after its last pruning. Should look quite nice when all those leaves come in nice and miniature. Gets a bit of a canopy going. Be looking good, I think, for this fall. And that's it for the updates for today. Generally, everything's growing really well. Having good weather this summer. That's all for today. I'm Nigel Saunders. Thanks for joining me in the Bonsai Zone.